Hey, hey folks, Troubletcat here recording for the Zombie Arcade. This is Conquest Assault on Wake Island. We're playing the 32 play. No, we're not. Okay. Never mind. Anyway, holy shit, that's a lot of tickets. This video is not going to last the entirety of that many goddamn tickets, I can tell you that much. Anyway, I just want to make this video to let you guys know that I'm back from my holidays. I'm currently standing on top of a helicopter, which is going to explode when it tries to take off on account of flying into me. Possibly. If that does happen, it will be hilarious, so let's wait and see what happens here. Anyway, yeah, as I said, I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know... Oh, cool. I get to fly, it looks like. I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that I'm back from my holidays. Videos are going to be resuming shortly. There might be a bit of a break before things start coming out once a day again, just as I get back into the swing of things, but there's no real reason that should be the case. I had a nice, relaxing time in New Zealand. We didn't do a whole lot. Oh yeah, I wanted to send a shout out in this video. Big thanks to Idstro for a donation of $25 that I received while I was away towards my my fund for my new mic. It's the first one I received. I figured I'd give him a shout out, and anybody else who ends up donating. It actually tells me your real name when you donate. You know, I don't know if people would be okay with me mentioning their real name in videos, so maybe I won't give shout outs. I don't know. I happen to know Idstrow's real name and also his handle. But for most of you, that would not be the case, so I don't even know. Anyway, this is going to be a short video. As I said, I'm not going to play this entire game, but I'm going to play a little bit more since I haven't uploaded anything in a while. Actually, I don't know. I might play this entire game. I think I'm going to go get dinner soon, and this game is probably going to last longer than that, so maybe I'll just keep going until it's time for me to get dinner. I'm currently very much disabled, so we're just going to land right here. And hopefully one of these guys is an engineer and can repair the... I landed in water. Yes, good. Alright, get in, buddy. Let's get out of here. Important to try not to abandon damaged helicopters if you can avoid it. You do not want the enemy stealing your Huey. And it's been a while since I played this game, so my gameplay is probably going to be a little bit dodgy. Okay, getting taken out by a flanker there. Ah, well, I attempted. It's okay, let's get on foot and get some work done. I enjoy working. Yeah, it was nice having a bit of a holiday, but I'm glad to be back from New Zealand to continue pursuing my activities here on the Zombie Arcade. I would have had videos for you guys, but there isn't really any way I could set it up so that uploads would continue in my absence, so... But, I guess, I don't know, I told you guys I was going to wait. This shouldn't be a shock to any of you. And now I've returned. And the kicking of asses can continue. You know, since I've got time, and it's what's going through my mind. While I was in New Zealand, I actually did, I had some gaming-related thoughts while I was in New Zealand, particularly related to... Hang on a second. Particularly related to immersion in games, and how there's a lot of things in games that developers, it seems to me, they do things a certain way because that's the way it's always been done, and the way it's been done for years and years and years. That, I mean, maybe they don't put a whole lot of thought into it, but it's not necessarily the most immersive thing. It isn't really necessarily how things need to be done now. I'm talking about things like, okay, for example, in Skyrim, one of the things I thought of while I was in New Zealand, and these were in a vague sense brought on by what I was doing in New Zealand, but I'm not going to get into exactly how I came to these thoughts. Somewhat less relevant. Hang on a second. Okay, I was trying to be a badass, but failed. As I was saying, for example, in Skyrim, you've got these rivers with pretty strong currents, like strong enough that if you just let your dude go, he goes quite quickly, and if you try to go against them, oftentimes you can't really get anywhere going against the current. So, you know, and it's sort of like this environmental hazard where if you go into a fast-moving river, you might not be able to quite get where you want, but, I mean, realistically, it's not that dangerous, and it's not as interesting of an environment as it could be as a result of it not being that dangerous. And so what I was thinking was, well, why don't you take damage when you smash up against rocks or the banks of rivers or something when you're in one of these fast-moving rapids, basically? Because that would make it a lot more interesting. I mean, you could actually die from that, or, you know, at least be injured And I sort of get to thinking, well, why is it that in video games you have this idea of falling damage, which in a lot of games seems to be based 100% on how far you've fallen as opposed to anything else, which doesn't actually make sense. And what would make a lot more sense would be taking damage just anytime you collide with something and you're going over a certain speed. And then you'd have things like, if you just had that in place as a way the player can take damage, you would just take damage going down those rapids, and you'd have your falling damage sorted out, and if something, say, pushed your character and you bashed into a wall really hard, you would just take damage from that. And that would, I don't know, why don't they do things that way? Is there a good reason for it? I wonder. I don't know the answer. It could be that there is a perfectly good reason that things are not generally done that way. Let's see if I can get anything done in this F-35. My mouse sensitivity is actually really wrong for aircraft at the moment. Well, I can shunt the helicopter. I think I got a flanker on my tail, which is going to make it really hard to do anything. And also, these things handle like a boat. In dogfighting, the F-35 is absolutely awful. What it can do that's kind of cool is you can slow right the hell down and basically use it as a helicopter, kind of. Whoa, easy there, easy there, easy there. Let's keep moving, keep moving. And another thing that occurred to me was scale in video games is often all kinds of wrong, and I can't think of a reason for that. I mean, for example, the amount of time it takes you to walk a distance in a video game is much, much shorter than in real life, generally speaking, or and stuff like that, or just, you know, mountains way, way smaller, like the biggest mountain in a video game that you can think of way, I mean, it might be large, like the largest mountain in Skyrim is certainly significant, but way, way fail. Wow, holy shit, okay, and this is actually inside the combat zone, so I guess I'm just going to start swimming alongside my reflections now. I'm not paying too much attention to the game. I'm not going to lie. You know, I'm just going to kill myself. Suicide is a solution designed specifically for me. Yeah, I was thinking about scale. And so why is it that in Skyrim, I mean, it's pretty big, and if you went walking speed, it'd take you a long time to cross it, but it's meant to be an entire country. And I mean, even a really small country, it would still take you like a day or like something on foot to cross it, and it wouldn't take you that long to walk across Skyrim. It's not going to take you, you know, it's not going to be 24 hours of walking. I mean, the city I live in, going from one end to the other, would take longer probably than walking across the entire Skyrim. And I know that, I mean, from a gameplay perspective, it becomes problematic to make environments that large, and from a development perspective in terms of development time. I mean, how are you going to make that much forest, for example? Although I think part of it's to do with video game characters have a tendency to move faster than people do in real life, but that's it. That's related, but that's not the entire. You know, how are you going to make these realistic-sized environments as a game developer? I mean, if you look at the amount of detail that's gone into Skyrim, and it's just absolutely packed with stuff to do, and to imagine them, you know, making something like that on a scale where it's the size of an actual country, it's ridiculous. But if you developed it in such a way where, say, you designed a terrain generation utility first, say you built something that can just generate a bunch of fucking forest for you, and then you go and add in more features later, I think you'd be able to fill up a lot of space with just generic forest, generic desert, whatever, pretty quickly. And wow, I mean, a lot of people would say, well, but then you're just, I mean, padding, really, and that's kind of lazy and shit. At the same time, it would lend to a sense of scale. You'd probably, realistically, you'd want to make sure you pack in a lot of features in there so players don't get too bored if they do decide to take the slow way around your environments, and you need a lot of ways for players to travel quickly. So in a modern game, it's not so much a problem because you can give the player a car, and then you can have, you know, very large environments. Granted, players still probably don't want to spend, you know, 4 hours driving between, you know, like, to get from one city to the next actual city. Players probably don't want to spend 4 hours driving a car, or something like that, 2 to 4 hours or so. So you need fast travel, and I don't really like fast travel. I don't know. It's a really impractical concept in a certain sense, and both from a playability perspective and from a game development perspective. But isn't it an interesting idea to have game environments that are of a size that feels real, that feels palpable? I mean, even, you know, the sandbox games we have today, it doesn't. I can't name a single one where you really feel like the city you're in is, or you know, the environment you're in is the size of what it should be, what it would be in real life. Liberty City in GTA 4 is quite expansive, but I mean it's not New York City. Come on, and it's the same. You know, yeah. I already brought up the example of Skyrim and stuff like that. So maybe it's horribly impractical, but it was just something I was thinking a bit about when I was in New Zealand. Like, scale. Yeah. You do see it a little bit in games, a more sort of realistic sense of scale in games like, I've noticed hunting games often have this. I mean, you'll be in a small area, you'll be restricted to a small area, but the area that you're in will feel approximately correct. And it's the same in military simulators. Like Arma, you have a small map, really, but features and stuff, and it all feels about right, even if the boundaries are constricted. Whereas something like Bethesda games, Skyrim, etc., it feels like they're trying to they're representing a much larger area in a small virtual space instead of building. My cat is like so happy that I'm back and he just won't shut up. In a smaller virtual space, and yeah, I don't know, maybe a good solution would be, if you can't represent something to its actual scale, or if it's impractical to do so, just scale back. Because it always felt weird to me, cities that aren't the right size, and states and countries and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Those are my random thoughts for the day, guys. Long commentary, but we'll be getting back into the normal kind of shit tomorrow and the day after, and so on and so forth. Thanks for watching. I'm back from New Zealand, and we're going to keep kicking ass. And until next time, I need to go pet my cat. Troubletcat out.